Hi, you guys. How are you? It is Thursday afternoon. I can't believe it's Thursday already. I don't have TV. We don't have cable. I've barely checked the news. I've barely been on Twitter, and I can tell it is an absolute madhouse. Betsy DeVos is still talking and speaking about schools closing, so we know. What are we no longer talking about? Bounties on U.S. soldiers. So there's that. We're also not talking about the money that was supposed to go out as part of the second stimulus. And now we're not supposed to know anything about what's going on with the CDC and COVID-19. It's like they've just given up and they just want to kill us anyway. I swear to God, I'm not joking. Because when you look at every single thing this administration does so carelessly, that's the end result, is damage, pain, and death, and suffering. So right now, the moon is about 8 degrees Gemini. It's in the 5th house of the sun, which has to do with Donald. The astrology said, look for the hanged man. That's Jared. That is Jared. And the astrology says, look to the 2nd house of income. So there's this thing happening behind the scenes that we can't see happening right now related to money, Jared, the burdens, the 10 of Wands, the debts that Donald owes. Here we have the 9th house going to Putin. Endings and beginnings. Lord help us. I hope we are done. So, Donald, I just want to check in and see what's going on. Today, behind the scenes, let's look at the, what do I have to reverse? Reverse this. What else do I have to reverse? I'm not getting it. What else do I have to reverse? Okay. Tarot, I want to see Donald. Donald today. Donald. And the 2nd house of income. What's covering you? Wait, first. What's covering you, Donald? And this 2nd house of income with these burdens today. Jared. Put this to the side. Jared. What's covering you? 2nd house of income. And I am going to include Betsy DeVos. What's covering you? Lead and the 2nd house of income. That's the challenge right now. What's at the basis? The base of all this. Today, what's crowning this? On the bottom, timing. This is always has to do with Putin and timing. Timing and whatever he does, timing and ops, but actually it really has to do with elections and timing and how they micromanage the polling, how the timing that they use when they are feed disinformation to certain types of groups of people or voters, and however they have the election systems rigged with hacking when they decide to do that. And something is coming in really, really quickly. Last week when we had this 8 of Wands, it was the panic surrounding the release of Donald's taxes to New York prosecutors. Yes, that's what it was about. Now, these 2 cards, can you see these? These 2 cards fell out. Revelation, the Sun. Donald, could also be Richard Burr. It's been Rick Gates. News that's coming out. and all the things that Donald has offered up. So today we have Donald trying to be the magician. The magician has also been KJU flipping stuff, flipping elections, but this has also been him in working with like Devin Nunes or McCarthy or Mike Flynn. This is Donald's card related to money and income. What's covering himself as candidate Donald, and the challenge he's having today is, oh, is this the Republican Party? He is having challenges with the Republican Party. This is Jared. In 2016, this is like what Jared did to Hillary Clinton, that whole team. The psyops, the voters not being able to vote. When we're talking about the magician, we're also talking about suppression of vote. This can also be jail. This has been Mike Flynn. This could be jail too. What's covering Jared relating to income? These forced offers he's made, the force that he's used with income to end things, end investigations related to women and enemies. His challenge with income now to lands far away, I believe. Yep. All the investments he's made, all that trail of evidence, all those things he cannot touch. And Betsy DeVos, because she's trying to distract us with our kids going back to school, and she's sticking to that narrative. This is her. The government, the institutions, the organizations covered it. Changing perceptions, changing the minds of others regarding school. And related to money, she's caught up with all these guys. Her challenge with money and income related to the 9th house lands far away is her challenge is trying to obstruct this. She can't obstruct this anymore. She's got so many ties out there. I will tell you, Betsy DeVos has felt kind of frightened to me as of late. I have never had that from her. She was so aloof, like nothing applied to her. But she's nervous. She is nervous. I think she thinks she can still get out of this, but after seeing what happened to G-String, maybe not. So the basis of all of this that's going on between these three are all the bribes and payouts and money laundering and favors and stealing. Stealing from one organization to the next, robbing Peter to pay Paul, crowning them all the data, the trail, the money laundering, the digital apps, the digital cryptocurrencies, the digital everything is what is crowning them all. I had another question. I wanted to know, Donald, what is your hope for the United States of America? Your biggest hope and dream. What is that? Because he doesn't listen to anybody. He doesn't listen to anyone. He never was going to. He's had a very decisive, personal quest on what he wants to do with the United States, and he's never strayed from that. As distractible and gaslighting he is and seems to be all over the place, he's had his eye on something in particular. So I want to know exactly what is it that your big vision is for the United States of America. Donald, what is your biggest vision, your biggest dreams and hopes while you're still in office for this country? What is your biggest dream for America?